Hello, guys. Welcome back to Transit TV. I'm here to talk to you about Man City today. We're talking about their ins and outs and then some of their weaknesses and as a whole, their squad as a whole. So let's start off with their squad as a whole. All in all, I like their squad, but I'm just not moved or I'm just not as fearful as I was of Man City 2 years ago. Now that's mainly because I haven't seen since preseason started, or not even preseason because they didn't have preseason. So I didn't watch their games during the Club World Cup, so maybe that's probably why I feel this way. But when I look at their squad and then I've seen how they got knocked out early, and also last season how they played without Rodri. On all in all, I wasn't really that moved. I will say that one of their strengths one of their strengths will be their attack. They'll have they'll have Holland, they'll have Marmouche, they'll have Cherokee. They're also looking like they're gonna bring in Rodrigo now, maybe even Javi Simons. So that's one area, and also Foden. Let's not forget about Foden. That's one area I think that they'll thrive in. Their midfield, I'd say, because Cherokee going to be part of that midfield. I'd say Cherokee and Reinders are good buys. They're good midfielders. They'll most likely work with, because you know how Pep and his signings, usually when they sign a player, Pep Pep usually uses and is a Pep approved player. But the real problem in that midfield would be Rodri. Yes, I know he came back from an ACL, but even in the Club World Cup, he wasn't used that much. And recently, I think in one of their friendlies, it came out that he had to leave the field early because he had some kind of a problem. They haven't really specified what the problem is, but he's coming off an ACL injury from last season, and you know how sometimes, unlike, because like I'm an Arsenal fan, and Timber last season he came off of ACL injury, has played great, but he's also suffering for some of these injuries that he had from some of the injuries he was holding and playing through, and that's why we saw a little of him last in the preseason. So I think Rodri will definitely have problems this season, and it won't be because and I think it will also hinder his performances in games. I think next season is when we'll see the best of Rodri. I think this season Rodri will be getting back, and because of how Man City and Pep rely on Rodri, like we saw last season, I think their games will go up and down rather than it's being steady. So I still think they'll finish in third and above, but it will all depend on how Rodri's fitness is this season. And yeah, that's also brings me to the weaknesses. I don't think they strengthened enough in the back line. Yes, they brought in eight Nuri, but all the other defenders, I'm not really that moved. And then they haven't replaced Kyle Walker. They're still using Mateus Nunez from at right back. They're still using what's his name, Rico Lewis, and I don't really rate Rico Lewis like that. I don't think he's ready for the big leagues yet. I think he still needs time to develop, and he's still young. But I don't think he's ready to be leading the right back charge for Man City. So that's some of the problems I'm seeing with Man City right now. I think their attack will be good, the midfield will be okay, but all in all, I don't think that they're going to do. I think they'll finish the same position they finished last year, which was third. But that'll still be a good. I think they'll probably win one of the domestic cups, maybe the FA or the Carabao Cup. But I don't see them winning the league this season. Now, when we look at Man City's players that they've sold and gotten rid of, most of their players just are academy, mainly are academy players from the website I'm looking at. It's mainly academy players, and other than the academy players, the big ones that they really got rid of was Scott Carson, but he didn't really play much for Man City. Kyle Walker and Kevin De Bruyne. That's the main one. They sold Kevin De Bruyne, and he's now at Napoli now. I think selling De Bruyne is a small loss because even though last season he came back, he wasn't performing to the Kevin De Bruyne. He wasn't performing to the same level as he usually did in the previous seasons. So I think it was right to move him on when they had to. And then Kyle Walker, obviously he's just not a good right back, and they need to find a solution to their right back solution because I don't like again like I stated before, I don't think Rico Lewis is a good right back right now. I think he needs time to develop, and then I also think using Mateus Nunez isn't the the right or the best idea at the current moment in time. So that's their players out, and then their players in. They've brought in Old Trafford. They've brought him back from Burnley, and as much as it's a good piece of business, I still don't rate James Trafford. I think he's also a player like Rico Lewis that will need time, and I don't think he should be starting for City right away. And I hope that's the plan with Pep because it wouldn't work well at the time when we get a lot of stick and flack. So I think they should still be starting Ederson between the sticks. But other than that, it's an okay piece of business. It's not bad, but it's not good either. Then we have Reinders. They brought in this season. I think Reinders will be good. Last season, last season, one of the main problems City had was legs. They didn't really have because Rodri was gone. Their midfielders didn't have legs to go up and come back, and that's where they really struggled the midfield battle with against some of the top teams in the Premier League. So adding a player like him, and then hopefully Mancity can get Rodri back and fits for the remainder of the season, then that those two will be a really good pairing for the really good pairing for them. Ryan Cherky, I think Ryan Cherky is a good player. I think they got him for a steal. I think they should have. I think Leon should have pushed for a bit more, but obviously he was a player in club agreement, so he left on the cheapest deal. I still think I think Ryan Cherky is a good addition to Man City. I don't know why nobody else was trying to go in for him, like Liverpool, Man United, even oh, actually, I think Man United went in for him. But I think an addition like Ryan Cherky is good. Will also give Foden something to think about. If he's not having good games or he's not performing well, Ryan Cherky will easily take his spot and take his chain, as they say. But I think it's a really good piece of business all in all. I think he'll really do well for them. And then also have Ryan Nuri. I think he's a good player. He came from. I've had my eye on Ryan Nuri. My only issue with him is he's a liability in defense when he's defending. I don't think he's a good defender. I think going forward though, when you're attacking, when you need something special, I think he has that in him. And we saw it at Wolves. He because he was left wing back for Wolves. He has the attack. He's kind of like he's the player I can compare him to is Jeremy Frimpong, but I think he has a little bit more stuff. I think he has a little bit more to him. I think it'll be a really good signing attacking wise, but defensively, I don't think it will work too well. But all in all, I think it's an okay signing. It's a good signing. And then that's pretty much it for this season. And I mean, we can quickly touch on seasons signings that they made last season. They got Nico Gonzalez. I don't know what happened to him. He was supposed to be the Rodri replacement, but Pep has used him like once or twice, and he's never been used again. Omar Marmouche is was also a good signing. He did well last season, and I think he'll do even better this season. Um, Kusanov, we saw pieces of him last season. Obviously, his first start to the season wasn't that good, but I think he's a player that also needs time to develop and grow as a player because he's still young. Um, and then Ilkay Gundogan, but they got him on the free. Other than that, I think City have a solid squad, but they lack in areas and they have weaknesses that are glaring in the defense. But in an attack, all in all, I think City will do well, will be fine. Their attack is at least one of the top, and especially if they add Rodrigo as well. If they add Rodrigo to this team, and obviously it's looking like they're selling Savio, and then Grealish is going on loan to Everton. I think and then if they can get that Rodrigo deal, I think it will be a good signing and a good player to have. It will cause a little bit of issues because of they have Marmouche obviously and Doku, but other than that, I think Man City will be fine. I think they'll still finish third, though. I think Arsenal will finish above them. Arsenal, Liverpool definitely finish above them. But they should also be careful because I think Chelsea could also come and take their place if they're not careful and figure out their defense soon. But other than that, I think that's all I can say for Man City right now. We'll see what the season has in store for them.